It's been interesting because since your article dropped, I gotta say, it has got all the buzz. If you are on X, if you're on Instagram, TikTok for the young kids, you know that Caitlin Clark is the Time Athlete of the Year. How has your 24 hours been since the articles dropped?
It's been awesome, and just the reaction. Obviously, people so excited not only about women's basketball, but about women's sports, and how excited and deserving, not only myself, but just women's sports as a whole.
Caitlin Clark just became the first WNBA player to win Time Athlete of the Year, but not everyone is celebrating. Critics question whether her rise reflects true merit or systemic advantages.
Joe, I'll start with you. What's your reaction to Caitlin Clark winning Time Magazine Athlete of the Year?
I don't think I'm surprised. I'm curious to know who the other candidates were.
In a completely unexpected yet unsurprising twist, Sheryl Swoopes, a four-time WNBA champion and now Caitlin Clark's biggest critic, shared some choice words about Clark's Time Athlete of the Year win. In this video, we break down the controversy, the backlash, and Clark's surprising response. Instead of firing back, she showcased a masterclass in grace and leadership. Here's why her reaction speaks volumes.
And I've grown up a huge women's sports fan, whether it was basketball, whether it was soccer, whether it was volleyball, you go down the list. Like, I grew up loving it and watching it, so it's pretty special. Like, it doesn't really feel real that I get to be here, but an amazing honor.
Picture this. Caitlin Clark on top of the world after winning Time Athlete of the Year, but not everyone's celebrating. Enter Sheryl Swoopes, former WNBA star turned unexpected critic, stirring up drama on the Gills Arena podcast.
The fact that that's the very first WNBA player to ever win Time Magazine Athlete of the Year is pretty special. And my question is, like the criteria, is it based off of her performance on the court, which, yeah, she had a great year, or is it more about the impact that she had on the game this season?
Instead of congratulating Clark, Swoopes goes on a ramble, questioning the very criteria that led to Clark's win. "I'm trying to understand what the criteria is," Swoopes says, her words dripping with skepticism. She doesn't stop there, suggesting other names are more deserving. It's like watching a train wreck in slow motion, leaving fans and analysts confused.
This is just probably just the impact of the sport, a little bit of it's a little bit of everything, right? So,
Yeah, I mean,
when you think
doubt.
about, you just think about athletes of this year.
Yeah.
It's her, the swimmer.
What swimmer?
For Olympics.
Katie Ledecky.
Her performance.
Shit, you can put Simone Biles back in there.
You can put her back in there. Probably LeBron from his Olympics.
As we dig deeper into Swoopes' comments, a pattern emerges. This isn't the first time she's taken shots at Clark. Remember when Clark broke the NCAA scoring record? Swoopes was right there, ready to rain on her parade, questioning whether Clark's achievements were truly impressive, given how much the game has changed.
Put Asia Wilson in there.
That was just basketball.
So that's what I'm saying. Was it just the performance on the court, or
it's global?
Else?
Like, I think it's everything.
Yeah.
It's everything.
What about Aja Wilson? She asks, leaving everyone listening in disbelief. Is this just a slip-up, or is there something more going on here? Swoopes' reaction reveals a deeper conflict bubbling beneath the surface. It's not just about Clark anymore. It's old guard versus new star, tradition clashing with the future of women's basketball. Swoopes, once the face of the sport, now watches from the sidelines as Clark captivates a new generation of fans.
Just keeps putting a light on the sport for everybody else to eat. And, sometimes, just as athletes, we are competitive by nature, and, we don't like when someone's getting something that we don't think they deserved, right? When we've been in a game.
The basketball world is left reeling. Swoopes, a player who once inspired countless young athletes, including a young Caitlin Clark, now comes across as bitter and out of touch. Her comments spark heated debates on social media, with fans and fellow players weighing in on both sides. But here's where it gets really interesting. While Swoopes is busy casting doubt, Clark's star only seems to shine brighter. Her record-breaking performances and growing fan base speak volumes. The contrast couldn't be clearer. One player looking backward, the other charging full steam ahead into the future of women's basketball.
It's been a crazy year. It's hard to think about. Like, I was basically just starting my senior year of college at this time last year. And then I graduated. I missed my college graduation, got drafted here in New York City, basically moved right to Indianapolis and basically start like a whole new chapter of your life instantly, and you don't really have much time to adjust. But lucky enough, I had a really great support system and family around, and I'm from the Midwest, so didn't take me too long, but this past year has just been amazing.
How does Clark handle this unexpected criticism? Does she fire back, adding fuel to the fire, or rise above it? By taking the high road, Clark's response could shape not only her career, but also the future of women's basketball, proving she's a leader both on and off the court.
It's fun to reflect back and think about all the amazing things that I was able to accomplish and the people that I got to do it with. I think that's what's made it so special is I've had my family with me the whole time, my friends, amazing teammates, amazing coaches, and it wouldn't be possible without all of them, so just really fortunate.
Remember when we said Clark was about to show us what she's made of? Well, her response to the Time Award controversy isn't just surprising, it's revolutionary. While Swoopes is questioning her win, Clark is breaking records and winning hearts. Instead of firing back, Clark takes the high road, a move that has everyone talking.
The number of Indiana Fever fans I saw in young girls and the way they were lighting up, I mean, you have represented something so special for the sport, but you've drawn eyes to a game that you've always grown up loving. What does that mean to you?
You know, it's kind of hard for me to wrap my head around because I'm so focused and so competitive, and I love the game. I love playing. I love being in front of the fans. But over the course of probably the last 2.5 years, it's all kind of changed where, you know, it's hard to get a ticket whether we're at home or whether we're on the road.
In her Time interview, Clark doesn't just brush off the controversy. She tackles it head-on with a maturity that's turning heads. Caitlin Clark's rise to stardom comes with a refreshing dose of self-awareness.
A lot of those players in the league that have been really good have been black players. This league has kind of been built on them. The more we can appreciate that, highlight that, talk about that, and then you continue to have brands and companies invest in those players that have made this league incredible, I think it's very important. I have to continue to try to change that. The more we can elevate black women, that's going to be a beautiful thing.
But Clark doesn't stop there. She goes on to highlight the legends who paved the way for her success, mentioning Sheryl Swoopes herself. It's a move that shows Clark's not just a great player, but a class act off the court, too.
On Caitlin Clark saying she wants to use her platform to elevate black women in the WNBA. Have been instrumental, obviously, in building that league to what it is. Okay.
So what's the
Clark's response is more than just taking the high road. It's a masterclass in handling criticism with grace and turning a potentially negative situation into a positive one. She's not just defending her own achievements, she's elevating the entire conversation around women's basketball.
I remember my first WNBA game, one of the best memories of my childhood, and I think very influential in wanting to be a professional basketball player, wanting to be a great person, having those people to look up to and want to be like one day. So I just try to embody that every single day, and I feel like I have good perspective on, like, basketball isn't my everything. Like, yeah, I love it, and I get to do it, and it's given me a lot of really great opportunities, but at the same time, you know, win or loss, I feel like I try to be the same person.
The contrast between Clark's approach and Swoopes' comments couldn't be clearer. While Swoopes questions and criticizes, Clark chooses to celebrate and uplift. This strategy is winning her more fans and silencing her critics in the most effective way possible. But don't mistake Clark's kindness for weakness. Her words carry weight, and her actions speak volumes. By raising those who came before her, Clark is securing her own place in basketball history.
how you feel or how you respond to some of those criticisms when you have to deal with something that it's really not your problem. Like, I feel like it's them looking in a mirror a little bit, but it still comes down on your shoulders.
I feel like I always have had really good perspective on everything that's kind of happened in my life, whether that's been good, whether that's been bad. And then obviously coming to the WNBA, like I've said, I feel like I've earned every single thing that's happened to me over the course of my career.
Clark's response to the controversy has turned a potential point of division into a moment of unity for women's basketball. She's proven that being a fierce competitor on the court doesn't mean sacrificing grace and leadership off it.
But also, I grew up a fan of this league from a very young age. Like, my favorite player was Maya Moore. Like, I know what this league was about. And like I said, like, it's only been around 25 plus years. So I know there's been so many amazing black women that have been in this league, and continuing to uplift them, I think, is very important. And that's something I'm very aware of. And like I said, like, I try to just be real and authentic and, you know, share my truth. And I think that's very easy for me. Like, I'm very comfortable in my own skin. And that's kind of been how it is my entire life.
But the story doesn't end here. Clark's classy comeback has set the stage for an even bigger conversation. How will the rest of the basketball world react to this display of sportsmanship and maturity? The responses are coming, and they might surprise you.
You'll never be able to make everyone happy, and someone that knows that at the age of 22, like, let's go.
I mean, I think I have good perspective on that, and like I said in the article, which turned out amazing, I thought it was great. I said I feel like one of my best skills is just blocking things out. Like, I don't really, the only opinions I really care about are the people that I love, my teammates, my coaches, the people inside of our locker room, the people that I see every single day, and I know have my best interests at heart.
Clark's win and Swoopes' reaction didn't just dominate headlines, they sparked a firestorm in the basketball world. Opinions are flying faster than one of Clark's three-pointers, with fans and analysts weighing in. In Clark's corner, social media is flooded with praise for her composure, with many calling out Swoopes for what they see as bitterness. One fan tweeted, "Clark's response proves she's already a legend. Swoopes could stand to learn a lesson in sportsmanship." The praise for Clark keeps pouring in.
How would you describe what's next for Caitlin Clark, coming off of a Rookie of the Year, coming off of breaking records? And I mean, there's so much, it seems like there's so much potential. Like, I keep saying you're only 22, but I just wonder how that translates to you, what the future looks like.
So how will all this drama affect Clark's WNBA future? That's the million-dollar question. Some worry it could add extra pressure on her next season, while others believe it's only fueling her drive for an even bigger year, perhaps even an MVP award. Regardless of which side you're on, one thing is undeniable. Clark's impact on the game is profound. WNBA ticket sales are skyrocketing. TV ratings for women's college basketball are at an all-time high, and fans who've never watched a women's game before are tuning in just to see Clark play. The numbers don't lie. Clark isn't just a player, she's a phenomenon.
I'm just scratching the surface of the things I want to accomplish, and, you know, I'm 22, I'm still figuring out life, I'm still figuring out where everything's going to go, and you know, I love basketball, and basketball has brought me so many amazing things, and that will continue to be probably my first passion and everything that I enjoy. And hopefully once basketball ends, I can still find things that I'm really passionate about and can do. Hopefully be an owner of a sports team one day, or open a restaurant. I don't know. Something fun. A little less stressful, maybe. Maybe a coffee shop or something. I don't know.
So, what does all this mean for women's basketball? Well, that's where things get really interesting. This isn't just about one player or one award anymore. It's about the future of the sport itself. And that future is looking brighter than ever.
How do you see kind of the impact that you're having on the game itself, especially the women's game? Like, we see now more kids taking the shot, 30 feet out. Like, you've come in and done something unique to the game that we haven't seen. Can you describe what that is?
While all eyes are on Clark and Swoopes, a silent revolution is brewing in women's basketball. It's a transformation so profound, it could make this current controversy seem like a mere footnote in history. Are you ready to see the bigger picture?
What people love the most is just the emotion that I play with. I think it's easy to connect with. I think they can feel that I'm real on the court. But also when I step off the court, like, I try to be like very authentic and very genuine and make as much time for people as I can. Like, I never want to big time anybody or whatever it is, because like I said, I was just that young girl that was screaming for an autograph, and that takes 10 seconds of somebody's time. So try to do that as much as I can, but yeah.
This Clark Swoopes drama isn't just about two players. It's highlighting the evolving landscape of women's basketball. We're witnessing a clash between the old guard and the new wave of talent, reshaping the sport. But with this success comes challenges. How does the WNBA balance honoring legends while embracing new stars?
You can achieve your dreams. Like, this is something I always dreamed of. Maybe I didn't dream it on this magnitude of being here at this event with time. I didn't really write that down, but obviously, I was always somebody that dreamed and wanted to achieve things, and my parents never told me, you can't. It was always like, go try. Like, they probably knew at times I would fail, but they let me fail, and I think that taught me a lot of lessons about myself and about just life in general. And I think that's helped me become the woman I am, the basketball player I am, and hopefully the leader I am, and just continuing to grow in that.
Let's not forget the immense pressure on Clark. She's not just carrying her team's hopes, but the future of the entire league. It's a heavy burden, yet Clark is handling it with poise. Her influence stretches far beyond basketball. She's transforming the way people view women's sports. Young girls are picking up basketballs in droves, inspired to become the next Caitlin Clark. And it's not just kids. Adults are taking notice too. The conversation surrounding women's sports is shifting, and Caitlin Clark is right at the heart of that revolution, leading the charge for an exciting new era.
Along the way, I know that you've met so many people and you've talked about the young women before, but are there some encounters or interactions that have stuck with you over time?
What's next for Clark in the league? That's the million-dollar question. Can the WNBA sustain this momentum? Will other young stars emerge in Clark's wake? And how will the league handle the growing pains of rapid growth? One thing's certain, despite the controversy, Clark's impact on women's basketball is undeniably positive. She's not just changing the game, she's elevating it. We're no longer just watching basketball, we're witnessing history. The game is evolving before our eyes, and we're lucky enough to have front-row seats. The future of women's basketball is here, and it's brighter than ever. If you enjoyed, leave a like and subscribe. More videos are on screen now.